My name is Jonathan Marley. I graduated from Cardiff School of Chemistry with a Masters in Chemistry in 2016. I've been working in the pharmaceutical industry now for nearly 4 years. Straight after I graduated, I moved to a small-scale research and development site called PCI Pharma, and since then I've moved on to a company called Reckitt Kaiser, which is a larger multinational which specializes in healthcare brands like Strepsils, Lemsip, Gaviscon, Nurofen, which is where I am now. I'm an R&D scientist for the Nurofen healthcare brand. An ibuprofen medicated plaster, which some of you might have seen on the shelves, hopefully. Yeah, that was a really interesting project to work on, and being able to see it on the shelves is a really rewarding experience. I would say problem solving. It's been quite a fundamental one, which I've been able to develop, and it's definitely helped me out in my career now. You know, as your time at university progresses, you'll be expected to use your own knowledge to tackle various problems and come up with the best solution to them, especially when you have your own research project to do. Communication has been quite a fundamental one, and as your time at university progresses, you'll be expected to present many different things to many different people with varying levels of knowledge of the subject matter which you'll be presenting on. It's not just about ibuprofen, paracetamol, etc. It's about the drug product as a whole, which is what I do. I develop the drug product. So if you take paracetamol, say, so here's one I made earlier. I didn't make it earlier, it's just over-the-counter stuff. But it's not just paracetamol in a capsule, it's paracetamol plus various other ingredients to make this product serve its purpose and also for it to be safe for human consumption. And when you start developing a product at the early stages, you need to be able to appreciate the chemistry of this drug compound, to say paracetamol. You need to understand its chemical structure, but then when you have to select other ingredients to make your overall drug product, you need to be aware of their own chemistry as well. You need to be able to analyze and see if there are any potential chemical reactions that could take place. Because if it does take place, the best case scenario is, you know, it could cause degradation of your drug product to the point where your product serves no benefit to the patient. It doesn't cure any pain, etc. But at worst, it could cause the formation of a degradant which could actually be harmful for human consumption and could potentially endanger someone. Every lecturer, there was more than one way to reach out to them, whether that was they face-to-face after lectures just for questions, go into their office, speak to them via email. You know, there was always a clear line of communication to reach out to someone if you were struggling with a certain concept during the lectures, both during term time and also especially during the revision period. They were often providing us with quite a lot of useful extracurricular information, especially careers fairs. There are a lot of careers fairs that had been organised, and when it came round to, you know, me actually applying for jobs, I found a fellow by the name of Dr. Tom Tatchell, who is probably going to watch this. I found him to be incredibly supportive throughout the whole job application process. You know, it really felt like he was going to walk through fire to help you out, and you know, I could say quite a lot. I could say quite a few similar things about other members of staff. It's a capital city, but it doesn't really feel like a capital city, if that makes sense. It feels more like kind of like a large town in a way. I mean, you've still got the wide open, bustling city life, but in general, it's laid out in a fairly straightforward way. The people in general are quite pleasant. There's quite a nice community atmosphere, especially during rugby season. You know, I always had this mindset when I was at school that everyone who did chemistry was kind of like me, kind of a bit reclusive, a bit socially inept, and that illusion was completely shattered after our first Cardiff ChemSoc social, where we just went around, various pubs and stuff. But by the end of that social, I'd met people who I'm still friends with now. I'm still close friends with now. That's been the best part of the experience, I'd say. Okay, this is quite nerdy and quite specific, but it does come from the heart. For future students, track down a copy of Chemistry Cubed by Andrew Burrows and John Holman. I'm not sponsored by these guys, I just think it's a really, really fantastic book. It's clear, it's concise, it helps with the fundamentals, but it's kind of written in a way that kind of respects your intelligence as well, which I quite liked. Also, join the Chemistry Society. It makes the whole experience so much more enjoyable. Going out and socializing with people that you spend time in lectures with, you learn so much more about them. Mostly good stuff, I would say. It's never too early to think about the next steps. So say if you're in first or second year, reach out to some lecturers, because in your third or your fourth year, your final year, you're going to have to do a research project under one of them. So it's probably worth doing the research, speaking to the lecturers to see what their research consists of, and find something that really works for you. For careers fairs as well, I'd just say go to them. Like, even if you're in first and second year, you still got a couple of years before you need to think about what you want to do. Just go to them. You might even find a career choice that's good for you quite early on, and then it just gives you that extra motivation to really, really give it your all.